ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯇꯧꯗꯣꯏꯕ ꯆꯦꯞꯇꯔꯁꯤꯅ TDS ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯀꯣ TDSꯇ ꯇꯧꯗꯣꯏꯁꯤ ꯇꯦꯛꯁ ꯗꯤꯗꯛꯁꯟ ꯑꯦꯠ ꯁꯣꯔꯁ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨꯅꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯅ ꯇꯦꯂꯤꯗ ꯁꯤꯒꯤꯁꯤ ꯑꯦꯛꯇꯤꯚꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯔꯒ ꯇꯦꯂꯤꯗꯒꯤ TDSꯀꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯁꯦꯁꯁꯦ ꯆꯂꯥꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯒꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯇꯝꯗꯣꯏꯁꯤ introduction to tele configuring text deduction at source in tele aduga recording different type of transition si tawdeni yengasi sida introduction to TDS haise kaino amasung TDS na kaidogdano TDS stands for text deducted at source abo maroina text deducted at source habisni TDS hai arthasi concept si kam ande horkeda income tax act 1961 dagi horkibo aduga sigi objective ti kaino deducting the tax on an income at the source of the income haiba arthadi income gi matam sida on lahoba haiba ko gi matam sida lahoba haibasi tax si hena thirak na bagi policy ne government torise suppose kananom dagi service lore suppose sina company ni na hairsi si company na hairsi company sina atopa company ni khangde atopa mi ni khangde business ang khangni khangde arudagi karigumba mana service am low reba ko si individual ki type on lower sa to bama individual la khaltagi hojiki kano se low reba service low re individual lagi service low se si matam sida paisa piram dai sida paisa se pi doni suppose sigi sina sigi individual sina ai na tawriba service to adu do lupa lakh ama tare lakh ama pibiro hairba ko lama pibiro habisi karigumba la amase sisina TDS ki value do yoraba habati si value yogdabu sulai threshold ajugi sulai adagi plus magi payable pay tawgadaba nature of payment khar lai adu duda hojiki hariba TDS kakpagi mawongji oiraba adu itardi sisi 1 lakh piba matamda pidoisi kanana pidoino si company si pidoini ko pidringai sida mana tax ama hapsan neba ko tax si magi logum thopa tax si se hapsan laga kaksan bi hone ko suppose at the rate of TDS at the rate of 10% higher si 10% higher di 10,000 tare ko tariba 10,000 se mana huzik piba matam sida si piba matam sida ko si sigi 10,000 se sigi 1 lakh piba matam sida TDS se horane ko 10% ka horani aduna 10% ka abani na sigi 10% ka aga mangon na pigi doise remaining haitare remaining already 10,000 ka khradi kya lem horni 90,000 na pire ne bason ko aduna hujiki haiba service provider na tagana mangon payment tawdeba mi do sigi se sida 90,000 no pire ne ko aduna sigi hujik deduct tawbiba mi sibu deductor ne kawe deduct tawbido ne ko aduga sondagi hujik service pi ni khangde akoina payment pisan doise deducti kawe deducti adun deducti na phangdoi sina kaino 90,000 aduga deductor na pi doisina kya no 1 lakh total se 1 lakh ni ko pi doisa 1 lakh se pi re on pi gi ne 1 lakh pi basi 1 lakh na pura pi roi 90,000 am pi ni aduga lemhori ba 10% gi si TDS se sina government pi garne ba ko government pi ba matamda si equal to 10,000 se pi re na pi maso yam thuna pi na hona doini amso pi doini ko aduna equal to 10,000 se higher se ko haiba pi ri ba se mana pi gi ma tamda sida certificate am pi ne ba sida ko sida certificate am pi ni sida certificate ne lower si sida certificate se aina nangi do pi gra ba ni ko higher ga pi garne ba ko si se kamai to ni si se china certificate am se mongonda nangi si 10,000 gi ama pi gra ba ni ko mongonda sinane ba si sinara matunda hojiki sigi deducti sina ko ma chakre magi income tax thir poi matam yor kanda mana siga sigi thabak logre magi income tax thir poi matam yor pasita magi suppose thi do khar leire khalako ko leire khan masida ngasagi sigi 10,000 se si se magonda hando han be yai ba ko haidi GST gi da input tax credit phumbai type ta si mana thi gi ne ba marom da harga ko magi da mutta sina thibi gi bani aduna si se hang 10,000 ama TDS ta kakhiba de haise suppose mana 20,000 pi toren khalse my tax total ja adu 30 only 10,000 na pi ne si je khatok ya ne ko adu sida yauri se kadai da u gada ge haibda magi su ama form am lei sida form 26 haina ko 26 a na तौदना अदुदा येंग उदेबा को माना सर्टिफिकेट पीरिसिसु फॉर्म 44 हाइब्रा कनो यावबनी को अंदो साइड फुदि यावकनी अदुदु पीदोनेबा को अदो कांसेप्ट इ चम चम मेसिने कनागुम्बा अमदा पेमेंट पीदोरे पीदोबो वैल्यू दो अदुदुदगी कईगुम्बा TDS की कनो लेगदी TDS की परसेंटेज सिमा कथलगा कहौरनी अदुगा गवर्नमेंट पीगरनी अदुगा लेमहौरियो पैसा दोना पीनी लेमहौरि पैसा से मीजे फंगनी अदो आइन TDS से कखिबा मतमदा एगोन सर्टिफिकेट अमा फंगकनी सर्टिफिकेट तो हुजिके आइना कक पीग्रिबदु पीबीगनी अदो माना सर्टिफिकेट सिगा हुजि माना हेंग कोना सर्टिफिकेट कनो टेक्स सिमा मतमदा मैच तौजबा यानेबा को अदोने सिदा इसम समे सिगी स्टाइल सिदने तौदेदो aduna si kaino it is a direct tax collected from the person at the time of payment to hujita payment piu matamda collect ta hobudune ko collection ji payment fee se kaino commission ma pi yai brokerage fee pi yai fees for technical service pi yai adagi interest pi yai interest in dividend ko then the TDS which is deducted is transferred to the government account so the example is lord si Dakshin Electronics Private Limited is making payment for advertising service to MM8 ko some message is the akoi hujiki example si da samanere सिना मवांग लौगिबा अखोगी कंपनी दि ममिंग दक्षिण इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड को दक्षिण इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड ति दक्षिण इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड इन लॉर्सी दक्षिण इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स ना सिदा MM है नत्रा MM एट एजेंसी द को द एट एजेंसी द से पी दोने बको MM एट एजेंसी द पैसा पी दोरे पैसा पिरम दाइसिदा in such case Dakshin Electronics Private Limited need to deduct TDS before making a payment to MM at agency at the source of income hai ko sida sima pham sida hojik ka horani haba sise ko ka hobai se hojik mauna lupa CPU haire hare si haire CPU drobani yare ko pi ga su koina sida ka horane ka hori bu photo sida lere concept abu sini the basic concept of TDS in this session will understand TDS ko yare applicability masagi to currently applicable hogi to TDS will be deducted at source sima khange source ni dana sida leisa source ne ba ko paisa pi dring ida si source ni sina phangdo mi duni source ta ka ho ne ba ko aduna source ta pi bani aduna sida yeng se deducted at source based on the rate defined in the income tax act ko best define ID sida aina sida 10% logri do 10% or ndab se kana gong phana 7.5 or be kana gong phana 5% or be ko adu ki best define do da sina aina example do 10% lobu wani adu do any way be idana adu ki best define rate define sida the way the recipient of the income receive the net amount aphang kakhat ki buduni ko phangise khoi si ki da har gana 1 lakh phangjagadab do TDS ka haga 90000 phange ko si se phangne haiba aduna any thousand pound basiki sine haise recipient of the income receive the net amount after reducing TDS adagi the need to add the gross amount to his income and the amount of TDS is adjusted against his final this liability sina file last hagibu to suppose mana sida leriba kano sina magi hayen tax liability se leri khalse mana tax thi to se ko tax liability se any legislation ko ID lupa lising tara su liya ke su kaide lupa lising manga pido ne government bana lupa lising manga pido ne khalse ko aduga magi this the tax ama hana ka pigrabani ko kakhibse asisi credit on phangdoi ni aduna mana TDS na kakhibse sigi value do adni du khaidoknar ga adui matung ina pi ne ba ko sai matang se TDS se sina aini university yong 10000 ni dana 10000 mana hana pisan gre kenom mana service am pi bagi aduka pigrabani magi ti slab 5000 later day sid henzal liba 5000 se mai bank pesa lakane mai bank pesa halakani ko yai ba aduka TDS sina suppose hel ba ko TDS sina tara ba for example 10000 lere magi ti slab sina se kenom hire se ba ko sina 15 hire se ba example ko ni ko sina 15 wera na sagana 20 hire se kha kono tong na ba mamang itu confuse tana ko 20000 mana pi do le tax ya masu tax yam ta ban pani 20000 tax pi do le ko tax adu ani se khaidona ni khaidona 10000 wana mana tongana chalan thiraga ka aga pi ne ko asigi kano sibuni khoi gi sida haise adu na mana kai haida kita the need to add the gross amount to his income haiba mana heng income paba matam dadi ko si magi income ya si ki mai di income ni da si 1 lakh la iba si income ne ba ko aduna mana heng magi income sida ko magi income tax liability thiram dai do aduna magi income si income ya ma to dene income and expenses ma utoi ni dana income sida mana 1 lakh lakhi na pa de mana 90000 la ekita haiba de ko ma 1 lakh la pa in la en pa gi ni 1 lakh sida gi minus TDS toraga TDS at the rate of at the rate of aduda ko adudo chan toraga si phangi si e gidaw ne ba sini aduna is the need to add the gross amount to his income and the amount of TDS is adjusted against final liabilities ma utpam da ka leba utkadam ne ba ko the recipient takes the credit of the amount credit lo wai de husiki wari si lo si ni ko husita credit hai bi wai se si the yari ba pot si mamang de pigre aina haying ko na ai wona handor na ba na si tana ba si credit ko ko credit ne aduna sida haiba wahi se the recipient take the credit of the amount already deducted hujita deduct to giba sida deduct to giba poto adu do aina credit phangwa yai sigi kana sina ko hujiki deduct sina receipt recipient sina ko sida maron se sida deductee habis lai sida mana deductee haiga haisulai aduga recipient na so hainai ko ado amatani atham tani aduga sigi recipient se take the credit of the amount already deducted and paid on his behalf aba jikta su to gre ko haji si sida suppose TDS na 10000 already 20000 ne kakhan na ga si kakhan na rabni aduga ariam dang mana thi doi ne ba ko asi thi basi bu ne khona mana adu dang pi ni haise paid on his behalf ha pi thok ren lower dani TDS deducted on the fulfillment of the given condition sina condition me am do le condition me am si su ye si condition me am do da masai kana na TDS kana dai TDS ka kada ge ba ko TDS ka kada ba condition ama sida am le re ani su am le re ko ani si yang amana huziki mi ji kana no ha ba ma amana sigi mi ji kana no ha ba ma ko aduga mi ji ma hana nei na do ba si karamba mi tagi TDS ka kada ge ha ba adagi ani subana karamba service pi ba do mai service karamba pi no adu TDS ka ko ya ge ha ko ani ni aduna ahan ba gisina condition 1 the SSC to maming siam tongale to deductee na so haira ina masai na ko aduga wahi amasu masagi recipient na so haira ko maming siam yami ko adu confuse kanu recipient na so haira ko aduna sina payer na khai hair ka doni natra adu sina payee ga so hair ka doni recipient haira natra na payee hair ka ko adagi sigi sina wari bu payer hair ka doni adagi swagi dana kai hai sida wahi am siyo SSC hai siyo the SSC di hoji magi income tax thiram dagi wari ni ko songi wari nate mari lena this dana mana SSC di anybody who is assessing the income tax ko hoji ai thiram dai da SSC who are covered under section 44AB ki makhada income tax act ki 44AB ki makhada san ba mi ngai se si se including individuals in ICUF ID Hindu undivided family have ko running a business and deducting TDS at the time of payment or credit, whichever is earlier against the following type of recipient or deductee have. Yai ko. Have the karama makhagi SSC na 44AB the yaw ba have ko. 44AB the yaw. Yang says the 44AB. 44AB ko. Sida of income tax the highest kayo niyo. 44AB the highest is par section 44AB following persons are compulsorily required to get their accounts audited audit to darkar leba mi ngai ne ba ko ji pan ngi do alo a person carrying on business obi if his total sales turnover or gross receipt as the case may be in business for the year exits 1 crore nang business to re nang business to mi si 1 crore helaba ado di nang audit to ya de hebo mle ba ko audit to se audit to gadabni haibo rules la yoge 44AB se yo ke ko do section 44AB is high say 1 crore helaba person carrying on a business is the purpose of tax audit under section 44AB is to ensure compliance with the provision of income tax 1961 and detect and prevent tax evasion and fraud yare sise is high business aduna sida aduguma mi do SSC aduguma mi karamano individual or say individual proprietor and individual ore ko firm hargana moi firm dugi matung inna ko who are covered under section 44AB of income tax sisine kana de individual over ya natra ICF Hindu undivided family resident or side laiba kango ma individual so be ICF non resident so be mapan mi la se ko adubu sida Hindu undivided family ki idea mapan like NRI ko kai kum lagi dana adu also Hindu undivided family masama body of individual BOI na khanai si se mi khara punjal laga semba group ama adu profit tan tawa aduga mamangi turnover da magi kano do 1 crore oi da ko aduga associations of person magi income value do 1 crore oi da ki wari do ko haidi income value ni ko yo whose income have person compulsory required to get their account. A person carrying on business is total sales, turnover or gross receivable. Yung ko siya gross receivable gira turnover do gira turnover is sales ni ko. Lo ina account do salaba turnover have the sales tadi na tema nom dahaga turnover have the sales similar ko plus magi aisai masa masa khar su lak bayai ba rent ithom bayai interest phang bayai do turnover ko adu do another gonna gross receivable hai se whichever may be the case is ko adai adu be association of persons mi khara pullaga from one salak to su yai company resident obi company non resident obi cooperative society obi resident cooperative society non resident obi local authority obi local authority hai si su amaro some have no municipality has local authority ne wari ko mogi su more than 1 crore gi turnover lai like do ni ba ko ar mo su huziki hai ba SSC si sing do ne ba partnership from ogira adai artificial judicial person ogira government de masan chalani ko si hai ba myam se doina ba income tax thi lai moi da TDS ka kadam ne ko and number 2 condition number 2 is the nature of payment should belong to any one of the following list si makha se yaw ba TDS ka kadam ne ko ado de ke no interest on securities securities hoi kano do noi gi huziki stock market ka thadai ba pot securities ko ko ado interest ado da phang pe interest ya si ka khine yai hui habra adagi samna harbda nang na broker amda nangi stock market se sana halle ko lupa lisi suppose lupa lisi yang kaya makai mat tawreng khalse lupa lisi yang kaya mukai muta usda nang asida security khara thamme security tu ki lupa lisi ani mu kano tawreng khalse ko interest phangin khalse ba interest phang se mana preko matam da mai nga sagi kano dui matung ina chantar gadi chalam tar gadi suppose 10% ka kene na higher ne aru dar de mana nangi interest pitho ko matam da interest ni ko hai sa this is pitho matam da higher 10% ka khine ko lupa sani ka khani police ni higher adugumba dividend fee bada so dim dividend ko interest other than interest on security si the yaw da interest atai so amaron da higher interest kudi ma hai tai ne security da so security na ta da so higher ne ko interest on infrastructure debt fund interest payable by government on India concerned in foreign currency winning from lottery or crossword puzzle season lottery phangba lottery phawba matanda TDS bank ka khagam tali hawdi haido thambra anakta CS champion kaiba bukes to ido bukes to crore kya no ka khedo amta yahu green to ido to gidai na exam hodraba bukes income on becoming world champion namai do world champion and the tax deducted yang se ko again yung sida according to estimate tax liability on his prize money was 11.45 crore ni ko aduga could amount to approximately 4.67 crore ni ka this yarba 11 lakhs 45 crore se sidagi 4.67 crore ne ka khide se ko aduna man phangam de se manga ga kha khitane taru ko phadre ko adune drama thui tan bada taru ka khre sara ko ma ko mari makhai ka khre adune je hai se adumaina toba adugo natraga winning from lottery sisu ana khaktori yam sauna ko any remunerations or commission paid to director or company sisu ko director myam sisu ka khadam ni winning from horse race ka kadam ni payment to contractor to thika tar me andri ka kui do gini ko TDS ka khay hai do payment to transporter bi uska kadam ni payment to non resident sportsman si sportsman to yar no kes ke do ko payment to non resident ki ne payment in respect of deposit under NNS no pesa deposit sum tor ba ko ado hay payment ro ko no pesa ka honi payment on account of repurchase of unit by mutual fund or UTI ko mutual fund UTI lay bagi da deposit to ba ko repurchase the payment of the na do pa payment in respect of unit in an offshore fund payment in respect of life insurance policy si lo yaw ni on life insurance su yaw ni certain amount in cash ko payment of certain amount in cash si lo yaw ba ne payment of certain sum by certain individual and ICF payment of si my section lo lai ko si se akoi si man section on pi the one section pi the board su ne na ko section amount lo lai si the adu the 44 125 135 146 adu da ne ni ko to 194 hai se ko 194 de ho ne 194 की group A से शुरू ले रहा मतलब ने 194 J है जे A B C D E F G H J ले आओ उसने शुरू यार ना ने software लेबा लम लेबा furniture लेबा building लेबा plan लेबा machinery लेबा तो यार इसका ठीक है सीधे इसाना पाजरो को सीधे माई के नॉम ले जरा condition number 3 the payment made should exceed the TDS exemption limit ko ngasai condition ahum dio condition je ahum ni ko amana mi je kara mi oi de ha ba ma amana magi type of service nature of payment to oi da wa ma amana threshold zo ida wa threshold hai di bagi adugi economic exemption dogi limit to di hedok da ba e lupa lising ani ba orga di pi log do su yare TDS to higher di pi tre lising ni hele di lor ore bu ko alu lupa lising tara hele di na hai the payment made should exceed TDS exemption limit as specified in income tax act ko as per section 44 AB hojiki hai do ngasai section 44 AB of the income tax an individual ICF is considered as SSC when number 1 running business ko law kono aduna 44 AB ki makhara lei ba haidi business run to duwa the TDS applicability of proprietor firm as on par section 44 AB threshold has increased to 5 crore hai se ko 2020 122 35 crore 5 crore dagi 5 crore 10 crore de hinga khre ba ko hujina kya library yang si hujiki achami matu inna ko sida satle aduga TDS threshold for hujiki do 44 AB ko aduna matam gi matu ini dum hongi ko aduna TDS threshold limit for 44 EB yes is the as per section every person following compulsory required to CC to samanare person carrying on business if his total sales turnover or gross will be in business for exit 1 crore to 1 crore de like ko mamang de le misida sine mamang le misida 5 crore da handaru ba ko the threshold has increased to 5 crore for financial year 21 it is 10 crore you know haisa as per the threshold has increased to 5 crore and for financial year 21 22 it is 10 crore ba ko hujik yin si sida par mama tam gina sibo date ama ibam dakar le you da sida audit sida haise sida le audit ai siga samane hujik 44 AB haise ko audit tax audit limit for sisa this audit under 44 AB sila 7 days ago si na kwai chum mani kwai nak na ko the government has extended the government has extended the last day for completion of the by 7 days 7 October RSC na is tax limit to kya na please a taxpayer is required to have a tax audit carried out if the sales turnover of a gross receivable business exceeds 1 crore in a financial year or rupees 10 crore in case transaction do not exceed 5% of total transaction. Okay. See you on the high. Kim hydra rupees 1 crore helaba ko kim long na bita 1 crore turnover leraba adu 30 case kin ko sija 1 crore turnover leraba di tax audit tawada bani haba haidi 44 ABC na challe haba natraga na rupees 10 crore in case transaction do not exceed 5% my case transaction yam name ba haba credit yam tong naraba ai je credit yam tawi only 5% kitang ni case tawi se high taragati magi do yenga 10 crore yobu kan taw ne haba ko yar ko ba tai ko sija aduna 2021 ki matung da lakri ba mali ko sida 2021 da si 10 crore na high grade sija aduga total si se yong or hai ja total sales turnover or gross received exceed 1 crore in financial year or kaigumba case transaction na 5% kitang gi makha leitar gana 10 crore ge dabo sini ko ana mana koi like sti pi si yam de running a business TDS applicable provider for si se kitang henga khre hai na kemna ti ko 2021 henga khya du mamanda na tar me ho amana carrying a profession adi any for example doctor hai doctor si moi TDS kano to godam ne engineer ko engineering service am pire where total receive exit my tobodabu amang is the 50 lakhs tagi hena total receive phone done ko aduna moi si doctor gi nang payment piring khalsi kano na hospital am khana hospital am na doctor gi service lore payment pire ko adu tardi ma si mana TDS ka kadaba adu gumba se khangena sahi gi ne si sahi gi ne Again, note number 2, new section introduced in 1st September 2019 ko city yam amarom da kitang li re du section sing se when khanga da bana 194 day hobuni 194 se da A B C D E F G A A B B M adu da yam lai gre ko section 194 M se TDS on payment to resident contractor and professional sima hapsal le hai ne 2019 da an individual or SUF has to deduct TDS at source under this section level. Such individual whose books are not required to be audited. See, mathak kisigi yaw da bakamu ni ko sina. Mathak to audit paisa yaw gira adwaina to it applies when the total amount paid to a resident individual for carrying out any contractual work or providing any professional service in a financial year exceeding rupees 50 lakh will have to deduct TDS at 5%. Similarly, samna magi the 50 lakhs ki payment to droba 50 lakhs ki sahi sida 50 lakhs payment to droba di 5% TDS ka individual am khatni ko hasia individual am khatta masagi sigi wari sida sigi sina mana service fee si mana 50 lakhs ki kano to dore ba ko adu tardi masi eligible oye ba ko adu 5% TDS ka this section applies to personal as well as business relating payment ko the individual SUF who has deducted tax can pay the tax to government by quoting his or her PAN only yaresima ya ningai tra 194 NTDS on case withdrawal above 1 crore yo crore amadagi hena paisa lokho ba adu TDS on kalok ne bank te so ne ko bank na on payment pay to ni bank na payment pay ba ko any kind of payment ni ko payment am pire case withdrawal lokho ke ni nang na sai case to ni ko lokho te 1 crore ga something like that se ba nang bank account ta 1 crore case lokho ke hare ba adu TDS ka kane yarba this section is applicable in case of case withdrawal of more than 1 crore during a financial year sahi sida 1 crore yograba adu tardi the limit of 1 crore in a financial year is with respect to par bank or post office usually see the post office na bank na ti aroidana ko sa sa nok to TDS will be deducted 2% yung man percentage of 2% on the excess case withdrawal of 1 crore 1 crore dubaw na ti ko 1 crore dagi hen ba to 1 crore dagi hen ba to 2% ka na have say 1 crore 10 lakh sa si ko 10 lakh ki 2% do TDS with do adu bank na ka hor ne ko bank na ka hoba si bank na o tv do ni ko gi damok ta ai low mi do gi damok ta ai ta following are the few terminology used sina gi yang se TDS hari tax deducted source hari deductor hai na ai sa hai kare buyer to ni is the buyer and he is the one who deduct TDS before making payment ko sigi nga sagi wari da mana ad ki advertisement to bi advertisement ka normal mana service man low re lai ni ko service to lai pi ri ni do na mas deductor ko we similar at the same time deductee is the seller who provides service or goods to the buyer similar ko ade NSDL hai na National Securities Depository Limited ai se NSDL sigi through the sigi hariba kano se sida online se transaction to se ma ta na sai mo to do se transaction ma to wi hai se NSDL gi through to se leiba man sang doriba loina portal se NSDL gi portal ko to sina NSDL ni asing badi National Securities Depository Limited aba financial year di may ano khang India gi first April na 31st March ko hawi adai ama khaka khahu da bala financial year si assessment year se khenai ko assessment year sin na se mun ne hora si ma financial year ga assessment year si ga ma ya financial hujik si wari bu ko hujik si wahi sahi se 2025 ne was sa thai se kasi recording the one 2025 ki May ne ko ado assessable year hai tare assessment year se si 2025 26 hai ne ba ye ko huju sa thari ba sahi se si assessment year ko sisna aduga aduga financial year hai tar gadi mamang sahi do financial year ko moin FY have ni FY se FY kya gino hangane FY se sisna kai oine khambra 2024 to 25 oje hai badi huji ji akoina thi doiba kano se 2024 25 sigi assessment tawde ne yare bo ado assess tawde be sahi sina 25 26 ne sigi di march ta loi garani ko 25 ki march ta loi garani si year 25 march ta loi garani ko sina mathang sahi doni sina si year assessment year ne san pa ne aduga sigida adagi waribu sign tawdana amka mama on sakhalis ko mane AY harba AY 20 24 25 hand targeti magi financial year se si kai ga manake to ko my financial year si FY 2023 24 hai ne ko और future da hai gana waribu khar lega 2026 26 27 le men khalo ko adu future da tu hai gana moi CC assessment year ne khalasi AY ko adu magi financial year D mama he mama sai to financial year D 20 25 26 work ne ko sisin adagi sima lera TDS process ong yang se TDS process si Dakshin Electronics receive a bill of 120,000 from an architect TZ architect company na phanga CRC yang si TZ architect have si group se TZ architect na hire se moi dagi service ama low re mana bill lam ka la 120,000 na for planning out their interior Dakshin Electronics Private Limited need to deduct TDS at a rate of 7.5% before making the payment to architect hire se magi value tarangane ba ko rate to rate tu matu ina ne adon TZ architect pi de as the amount is crossing the TDS exemption limit ko TDS exemption limit hen gi bai ne TDS rate from 1st April 2020 till 13 May 2020 is 10%. Sisi yang phar taw poram ne April leina May bok 13 bok se numit haidi nifu ko hundoi ni khakki 10% ora me ko 14 leina 31st March na 7.5 oi ko sana handagi sibai na khar tholokani ko future su tholoi haini alite rate se ado mai rate tu gi matung ina pa do yai na sidene siwak na COE sidene siwak na COE na pa do ko adona rate se manak to se abo adona yong ko sida sina deductor ne sina hoji deductinin deductor sina 1,20,000 si mana sida piram dai sida deduct TDS during booking expenses and make payment pi gre ko sida 1,20,000 sida gi mana 7.5 ki bill TDS sama ka thalaga adu do sida pi garne ko si pi garne pi wa deposit the same to the government treasury within the stipulated time si matam lai ko si bok manung pi ho do ne na TDS yam sa thibam na ko bai matam du pi ho de ni na tradi nang nong pi फाइनल पीताब नंग पेनाल्टी पीताब माना हाइबा मतम सिदा डिपॉजिट तो हौरे बको अदगी डिडक्टर सिना इशूड फॉर्म 16A टू डिडक्ट हियो तो फॉर्म सिमा पीनी बको फॉर्म 16A से केनते ngasai सर्टिफिकेट तो निको 16A for the TDS amount deducted si certificate to ni pi ko mo na pi re adagi amana deductor file the ETDS to NSDL ko NSDL si government gi sini NSDL mana file to re bako si pi ro to na mai filing to jare filing the say si government sina NSDL uploaded the ETDS information to the income tax department si ko kenate government siga si ong tongana go nga sagi to asai to government na tabi agency ma kong thamba wani da masagi to da government na ma tongan leire ko si government ne khalasi aduga ngasagi kano do government na pina nabdo aina ngasai sida wona thi hai to ko sina NSDL lo yari ko NSDL sina agency wona leiba tarba agency no asigum collection to wibagi agency hai tar ko aduna huji to loisi si layer ma leibi wa dani asagi nangi business ni sele khalsi nangonda no preka do service preka do mi sine sele khalsi nang na paisa pi ba tamda nang na sida paisa pi re पैसा पीबा मतमदा खरा कहौनी कहौरी पोत सिदा पीगरनी सिदा पीबसिना ना फाइलिंग तौनी फाइलिंग तौर मोना 16A दो पीनी 16A से को सोना पीरनी अदुगा सिसिना सोना ओ ट्रांसफर तौरने को लास्ट सिगिसना हुजिकी हाइबा 16A फंगिबा अदुगा फॉर्म माना उदोरिबा सिमसे लोइना सिगि NSDL सिना तौदोइने को अदुना एक्सप्लेनेशन जे यंग डिडक्टर विल बुक द एक्सपेंसेस डिडक्ट सिलेरे डिडक्टर इन हाइग्रे डिडक्टर remit the TDS amount to the bank treasury सिलेरे डिडक्टर issue 16A to deductee बाबा सर्टिफिकेट पी निसी deductor file the ETDS to NSDL upload the ETDS information to the income tax department amount deducted will be credited to the income tax department of the deductee yare ko sa aduna mai sida deductee kin yawaina thabirne ba so government hai chile income tax to hai samane and the same can be verified by form 26AS omangi hai gib to sindangjang ibra inga sa hai to asagi akhoi GSTR 2 gi dakta sigi mi sina yenga ke hai tarati form number kya ba 26AS ko si mi am sindangjang 26AS asina 26AS sina kemna te ko ma ki input tax phangna na ba input tax hana hai so ko for akhoi line na for easy step hai so input tax kai lege do una na ba ko sina certificate na mami ke ba certificate na 16A ko ngang ni na certificate sina 16A hai ba aduga mana si tax phangom je kai do uni 26AS ta ko and magi liabilities paying paisa file term dai da sika thu piane ba ko form 16A is issued to the by the deductor on the TDS deductor on the high grade ko sida chang ba masak khar lei masak se what is 10 is it 10 is it TN is the tax deduction and a collection account number ba ko 10 hai na mong lei ne sida yaw do is se mana tax deduct tau ge hai tar ga ti ma 10 nong yaw do ya am nu ris ko ma 10 card pai ne ba ko TAN tax deduction at source to hai TDS ka ke hai tar ga ti mana tax deduction and collection account number TNN number se laine ba si 10 digit alphanumeric character ne ba ko si su pan gi type ta 10 digit koi ni ko ahan ba pan gi dana ama ani ahum mari manga se kanu oi alphabet oi ko aro si gi dana alphabet mari laine adagi ama ani ahum mari manga wasna magina ama ani ahum mari manga sina numeric oi ko adagi phai last na ma so alphanumeric oi aduni tawdise aduga it is a 10 alphanumeric character issued by the income tax department to all person deducting tax at source then it has to be quoted in all relevant challan tax deduction certificates when yaw do ne ba tan card to yaw do ya de ko number 2 TDS returned and other notified document si lo yaw do ne mana he to to ba tan da to obtain tan the person yam lai tan lo bu jam lai ko kai lo ni the person or organization is required to apply form 49B the apply to do form 49B na le ngane ba ko adu da apply to do da yam lai ba ko ni yam thu na dum lo ya ba ko ni ko form 49B magi maming sini form sigi maming sini ba ko hai di form 49B leibra hai di nang to to re hai ne sigi register to re hai ne nang na ta art yarba aduna form 49B ko aduga NSDL lo do ba the format of tan say 1 2 3 4 to alphanumeric sina alphabet sina mari amasin digit sina manga aduga gm ko ahan bai si su kai no hai ro yam lai si su ko usually city maming dhi rongani mari ahan ba ahum se BLR is Bangalore hai ne BLR RCC code ni city in the state where tan was issued we have taken Bangalore city CBLR is Bangalore hai ne adagi mathang da T hai je first alphabet of the name of the organization ko akhoi organization ni maming suppose mangal input hai hai tar ti M do yarman kari ko teli academic phal hai T do yarman adu ko sing phal na IMP yarman ko 5 character are system generated city system is generate ko ne 1010001 de horom bai ai number ama hita function ko adum yarne aro khoi last kisna check sum number ko it is a check digit alphabet numerical generated by the system ko adu dum lai pande hana na khana gare one is permanent account number 10 digit number ne alphanumeric character allotted by the city every single individual na pai bu si ko si format na am khana gare manga amna alphabet ni mari amna numeric ni sisu mai khina bana khoi ha ma 3 letter sequence ya a daina z pok any way ya any random way ya yar sun ko number asigi mari suba asigi kano se letter sina this show the type of holder of the card company or gana c ragani yar ba alagi association of individual or ni e ragani ko body of person b ragani wari ba that individual and I ragani that or sikhana ne ba c is na it is the first character of the surname, last name, or name of the Sigi say, Yamonoi card, pan card, Siom. Sisino Namingi, either surname or gonna surname na Hanbra, or no naming Dugi Minda, Mindugi Hano letter to Oranganeva. Since system generated CD0001, the gift from any wizard son of since check some number of a 6 digit alphanumeric Sina, Hayami, Sek, about the Roman never fly, I'm no. Who has to deduct the test? Canada deduct the say. Sida nga sa hage ba yan doni individual body of individual to the yar se ko masagi si yar ko sida body of individual ICF si masa B ni irapa B irapa A association of person ni irapa ko association of person local authority ni irapa ya to ini relation si ora TDS rate chong yan ja TDS rate are fixed by the government against is TDS nature of payment my payment nature of payment ni matu manade ko ali service fee to ki matu manade aduna and these rates will be changed altered every financial year by the government yong to every financial year hongi ko budget tu matu ina finance minister na ne sahi khuding hong ado hongaroi ha sai bana handak sahi hong dre si ani stang hongi ori bon si ne sort payment sta handak ti si gai hong si hong de ma dum hai ga ne ko and the deductor hadi hujik paisa pi do mi do the one who is deducting the tax need to deduct the TDS as part of the latest rate file latest rate to the one kakadam ne ko amana exemption limit so yensi exemption limit is the limit set by the government for most of the TDS nature of payment nature of payment adam bada my exemption limit like for example the exemption limit for fees for professional services 30,000 per annum professional service PVP 30,000 higher day atu makhati exam dore yare ko and the TDS rate is 10% yai ko if the company is receiving the bill towards professional service for 25,000 bill per annum thange ko adu article to yare ne 30,000 yodribini na then the TDS should not be deducted on the amount of 25,000 because the amount is not crossing the exemption limit of 30,000 it is coming under the exemption here yai ko again next TDS calculation when exempted limit is crossed. If the company is receiving the bill of fee or professional service 50,000 like company is ni ko kasi say exemption limit level like the by say company sina ne company sina mana mangona like service ki bill say 50,000 la hai adu TDS 10% kak ne ba samra because it crossed the exemption limit of 30,000 kasi ki mi du gi nate ko service period mi du nate service period mi sina khang da ne aina period say professional service kangura hai na sai doctor kangura na ko the kangu already dum TDS ka kotam erna aro deducti hai si 30,000 bakti kalo ai 30 dagi hen ba bill ka agadi mana susu susu kalo tane ko adra component used for calculation are given in the financial year 2022 see the sai kitang amang ni ko cc yung 5,000 naira ba 10,000 10% professional fee exemption limit 30 bakti to grabina emo budu ni ko income tax ki yam kana to bo mana kana khangada si ko na any tax thi na loan thi to na 30% hai na loan thi to na magi jaga amang lakani ko sigi suppose na sigi se payment am pire khalse moina si bakti exemption de hire ko alaga sigi mathak ki sina 10% ne hire ko sidagi hen di 10% ka ne hire ba suppose si sina 10 lakhs ko ka roi na hire si any example am ni ko na 1 lakh tang hire si 1 lakh ko long secret sida 100 sorry 00000 hire si ko 1 lakh ta heladi 1 lakh stagi heladi si sina threshold limit ni threshold si heladi 10% ka kani hai na hire ba adu ai target di kamai to kita 1 lakh sok di ka loi ba ko swai bak simana kemta din mo na ga si kemta sigi di ka oi ba silagi ahead ba chang do adu do ka for example 2000 hele tra 2000 gi TDS 10% di 200 tare 200 tu ngal ka khane adu khana dam ne ko aduna in this case TDS see 50,000 already 30,000 professional fee exemption limit ne 20,000 ka re 20,000 ki 10% di hai ta ne ko in case the TDS amount will be 5,000 TDS multiplied by TDS rate in the payable amount CCC tore na 100 yan kai no si yare sino ko not for a few days of payment the exemption limit will be given for a single bill value for a few nature of payment kharadi exemption limit se single bill value do na pae and also exemption limit will be given in aggregate value the pun the ko example see and the yard se nature of payment superior example for example the transfer nature transport ki da payment to transport in nature of payment the single bill value limit is 30,000 aina transporter amda payment fee do re ko 30,000 tabre yemo 30,000 se heladi TDS attract tore 30 already tawdre haiba and the aggregate exemption value for the financial year is 1 lakh haiba karamana adu do karamana haidi sigi hek mafam hek yorpa ahan do yorpa do tawdene nana mase sum pire sum pire so 1 lakh yore na ko 1 lakh do da adum bill amount na 30 yore so do kalan or bill amount 30,000 helaba adu dikalan eko the following table display the TDS rate see years go one see 22 23 gini 23 24 yung see TDS rate for financial year TDS rate for financial year 2025 24 25 tare lagi ko na 24 25 to hire hosi ai na kai no ma kara no the payment fee mo tum da sunum tawben channel le ni ko 60 le to TDS 60 25 26 ke to yar ko ngasi nang na kana no payment fee to ren khala si adu disi ki 60 se pro tong ni ko for example si nai interest on security ki matung ina 31st March 2025 ti yaudre aduga 1st April dagi ti 10,000 pi tong ne ko interest under interest are si loidam pi si on to 194 194 k 194 b winning for horse let's say aggregate amount exiting 10,000 during the financial year the com insurance commission 15,000 helaba insurance commission 15,000 helaba this kakani ko adagi amasu khangda amana sina tit leira adagi amasu pan card piba amasu pida ba haibam su leibini ko pan card ullagana TDS rate se pwaba natragati henjan na piba haitare mana pan card lawna na bana government adugi policy amsu leiba ko si sana pazaro kai no si manaroi ko matam gi matung ni hongkani mana IT slab rate tu matung ile salary dan as per slab hairani na ko aloi he tu nan resident organa mai rate pi bidu dum pani pan card pi dagan 30% on pagin hendoi ni ko se adaga premature withdrawal of EPF fund se EPF sanang premature on lower ba adu 30 threshold limit se 50,000 da helaba ko nang suppose EPF haidi kaino employee provident fund gawe nang na thabak tawma thumda nangon dagi paisa khara puthoga adagi organization dugi paisa khara puthoga paisa tungjan mine ba ko tanghai da puthonai tungjan mine tungjan ba se nang na thabak tokko matam da logera matam khara lerega ko man EPF su transfer to yai organization amda nang tokthokpa matam da si lokthok yai ba ko lokthokpa sina 50,000 helaba haiba hen taragadi India gi resident already 10% TDS kakpi hone ba ko aduga pan yaudra ba pan card haptragana 20% on kala kana yai ko aduna income tax ki pan card to hapagadi sise percentage se tai ba ko nain to boni sise dividend phangen khalse dividend ai kai no company ki profit phangen khalse ba si di company amna nang investor khalse huji share leiba na to ni na share leire share se 5,000 phangen khalse ba nang 5,000 cash ne encase tawin khala encase tawin khambasida TDS ko na 10% ma ka hobane ba ko aduga kaigoma pan utraba adu 20% ka kane ba ko yar na sa sigi ne adu isana pajaro sisi ko aduga sahi sigi matu ina manani haibu laite TDS rate shall be increased by applicable surcharges and health and education cess sometimes ko TDS na health and education cess nam su lairi adu so sarkar na kakto ni ko In case of non-furnishing of PAN or Aadhaar by deductee, TDS will be charged as at a nominal rate or 20%. 5% in case of CC. We say very high. Karam mana wang gitu. Awang mo dun log this. Ko. Awang mo do. Adu na PAN putrok di hen na wang ba rate to log ni ba ko. Karam mana wang gitu. Sini. Aduga practical la ni sididi TDS and teleprime sina mathang ki class 1 torsi ko.